Hey, how's everyone doing? Already washed my hands, kind of got everything already sort of prepared here so that it was sitting out. Tonight, we're going to make a mushroom stroganoff. Not completely vegan because we still use sour cream and stuff like that. But basically, instead of beef stroganoff, we'll be using portobello mushrooms. So for tonight's recipe, we've got our egg noodles, some butter, some red wine, some thyme, an onion, garlic, salt and pepper, Worcestershire sauce, and some sour cream and some flour. So that's what we're gonna do. And then some water going for some, which I almost forgot, for some vegetable stock. So, pretty straightforward menu this evening. So I already have the water going. Whatever stock you're going to use, whether it's a beef, a chicken, a camel, I don't know, whatever you use. 1.5 cups. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that going. So it's ready when we need it. As far as the noodles, I've already got the water boiling so that when those are ready, we can just pull them off and be able to throw everything together. So 1.5 cups there. All right, so we're just gonna set this to the side so that when we need it later, it's ready to go. So what we'll start off with are our vegetables. Hold on. I don't know how those turn into that. So really, first thing we're gonna take our onions and we're gonna get them cooking first. And then we'll toss in our garlic and our mushrooms after that. Hopefully everybody's been doing well out there. Whatever it is that you're doing and staying safe. We're realizing that this is in addition to just whatever we're going through, I can say that for all of you parents out there, this is a crazy time to be making decisions when there's no historical reference to make a decision on. So that's kind of an interesting dilemma, at least that we're finding ourselves in. So we're just gonna thinly slice these. And then maybe just cut them once right in the middle. Just kind of break them up just a little bit. So we'll just kind of go that route. So thinly sliced and then once down the middle. Okay, so we'll start off with 1 tablespoon of butter to do our onions. So we'll get that going right now. Okay, so we get that going on that oven so that we can saute our onions down. Then we're going to do our garlic, so we'll go ahead and get that. We're going to toss the rest of the butter in after we do our onions. So let's go ahead and get our garlic ready so that when we need it, it's ready to go. And we will chop up all the mushrooms and get them ready as well. So 1 onion, and then for the garlic, we're going to use 4 cloves of garlic and mince them up. Okay, mushrooms, we're just going to cut these into kind of, just slice them. Nothing too fancy. You do want some big chunks. Don't make them too small. Recipe calls for a pound. I think I have close to that, but just use whatever. There's no real rhyme or reason. If you have a variety of mushrooms, that would be good. Portobello mushrooms are really, if you want to use the word meaty, they're dense. So they work nicely to replace meat products with. Even though I know people who eat meat say, oh, mushroom's not, blah, blah, blah. I get that. Just talking about the consistency and the texture. Get these cut up, make sure our butter's not burning over there, so we can get our onions started. Sounds like it's going. So let's go ahead and toss our onions in there. Yeah, that's nice. Now we're going to saute our onions until they're, 2 or 3 minutes, somewhere in that area. Just saute them down so that they're nice, translucent. Let those oils kind of extract as it's cooking, and that will be nice. And we'll get the rest of these chopped up really quickly. If you like stroganoff as it is prepared in France, then you can add the pickle into it as you want. I don't add pickle to it because I'm not personally a fan of stroganoff with pickle flavoring. But if you prefer a French style stroganoff and you like pickle in it, then go ahead and add that. And you can just do that yourself. And that would be into the sauce that we'll make as it gets tossed in. So you wouldn't saute that with the vegetables. That freshness comes in the sauce, not in the saute. It's good. No knock on the French. They have some pretty good cuisine. Give them that. Give them a lot of things. But personally, not a big fan of it. I used to get reprimanded by a chef that I knew named Dominic, who was from France, who thought that the idea of making stroganoff without pickle was basically, you know, a horrible, horrible thing. I was like basically sacrilegious. Okay, got those all cut up. We'll go here, see how our onion's doing. Looking good. And right over here, I have my handy helper on the floor who's horrible at helping in the kitchen. Okay, let's get this moved back over here so when we take the noodles off. We're just going to cook the noodles now and toss them to the side. Once it starts bubbling, we're going to throw in a whole bunch of salt in terms of one, flavor for the noodles. But if you tried it at home, I've showed you before, when you toss the salt in, it rises the temperature, the boiling temperature just a little bit. So it's kind of nice. Oh no. Lord, I was born a rambling man. See, how long are we going to cook these for? 9 to 11 minutes. So we will go 10 minutes. My family doesn't like them al dente per se, but they also don't like noodles that are soggy and fall apart in your mouth. So we'll go for about 10 minutes on those once it's going good here. Okay, our onions are going nicely. Cook those just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Then we're going to toss the other 2 tablespoons of butter into our onion, and then we will toss in our garlic and our mushrooms to finish those off and let them cook. Okay, it's come to a boil, so now we're going to take looks like about a tablespoon of salt, toss it in. Then we're going to toss our egg noodles. I did not make fresh egg noodles tonight, trying to use up some of the storage space, but egg noodles, super easy to make. 10 minutes, we'll get that going and then we'll take that off. Okay, our onions are good. So now we're going to toss our butter in. We'll let that melt down. And then we're going to toss our garlic and mushrooms in. And we'll start those sauteing. And we'll take those to when the mushrooms start sweating off all their juices again. and yummy goodness starts to happen. Again, food is, at least in my humble opinion, the love that you put into making your food is a special ingredient that we need more of in the world. Okay, so we got that. So let's go ahead and start tossing our mushrooms and garlic in. Okay. We're going to saute these, and once the mushrooms start getting broke down and they start sweating off and releasing their mushroom juices back out, that's when we'll then add in some wine, simmer that down just a little bit, and then go from there. Okay. So while that's going, let's get our sauce that we're going to be using. So we're going to take our ½ cup of vegetable stock. We're going to put this in. Sloosh out just a little of this stuff in here. Okay. We're going to throw in 1/4 of a teaspoon of thyme. Maybe a little more. Uh, 3½ tablespoons of flour. So 1, 2, 3. And what did we say, 3½? So I'm going to go half of that. So we got 3½ tablespoons of flour. Let's go ahead and mix that up. Get all the flour broken apart. There's nothing worse than eating and having a delightful clump of flour in your sauce that you chomp into. That's not the flavor you want to leave your family or guests. Okay, we've got our mushrooms sauteing with onions and garlic. Make sure you get those all mixed up so that the garlic gets distributed evenly throughout. Okay, a tablespoon of Worcestershire. There we go. Okay. Get that mixed up, and then this is going to call for 1/2 cup of sour cream. which I sometimes use a little bit more than what's called for, but we'll see. So half a cup, let me grab a spoon. Maybe a little more. Okay. So roughly half cup of sour cream. Sorry, I'm going to make that so loud. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get that mixed up. Okay, good there, good there. Our mushrooms are starting to sweat back out, so they're looking good. Leave those for just another minute or two. We grab a spoon, we'll sample our sauce before we put it on. And then I always test it out on one member of the family before to make sure everything's good. Not even gonna worry about testing it out on the rest of the family tonight. We'll get some salt in there to your family's liking and flavor. And I don't have any fresh ground pepper, so we'll just use pepper. Get some of that in there to your, again, to your family's liking. Okay, good there. Mushrooms are soaking in their own juice over here, so they're good. So now we're going to put half a cup of wine. In this case, I'm using red wine, so making a Burgundy Stroganoff. You could use a dry white wine. That would work just as well. Just happens to be the wine that I have tonight. So we're going to drop the wine in there. And then we're just going to let this cook and burn off some of the wine. Obviously, as I've mentioned before, if you cook with alcohol, the boiling reduces, well, it doesn't reduce, the boiling burns off the alcohol, but we're going to let this reduce so it's not quite so liquidy. Noodles are looking good here. And we've got our sauce here. So basically all we're doing now is waiting for our noodles to be done, which is in 1 minute. Our vegetable mixture to reduce. So we'll give that, I don't know, anywhere between 5 and 7 minutes. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but somewhere in that time frame. We've got our sauce made over here, which is ready to go. So basically once these two items are done, we will combine them all back into the same pot and mix everything together. Sprinkle a little parsley on it, which I don't have any fresh parsley, so hopefully I have some, I should have some dried parsley somewhere. So I'll find some of that and we'll sprinkle a little on so that we can see that, and we'll be good to go. Yes. Parsley flakes. And that is how easy a stroganoff is to do. Okay, we'll go ahead and take our noodles off. And as I said, we made egg noodles for the wide egg noodles for this. Now all we're going to do is just wait for this to reduce just a little bit more. We'll put our mixture in here, then we'll mix it all together in our noodles, and our stroganoff will be ready to go. And it should be quite delicious. I haven't made this for a while, so something I think literally I was at the grocery store and portobello mushrooms were on sale, like one of those stupid sales. So I bought a whole bunch of portobello mushrooms, and then I was like, I think I will make some mushroom stroganoff. It's a real simple thing to do. It doesn't require a lot of ingredients, and it's pretty straightforward. There's a variety of ways you can make it. This just happens to be how I make it. Okay, looking good there. Looking good, man, looking good. Okay, we'll let that reduce just a little bit more, but we are going to taste it for quality control. Good. Be right back. What's up?
Hello? Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, I just,
Yeah?
yeah, I just served.
Oh, good.
I did the burgers and the Joseph.
The Bodie and the Joseph.
What are you making, sir?
I am making a stroganoff.
Ugh, Stroganoff!
Oh, stroganoff!
It's actually called beef stroganoff.
Well, in this part of the world, in our house tonight, it's going to be a mushroom stroganoff.
Not beef stroganoff!
No, I didn't cook
in France.
chips and do all that fun stuff.
It's a French dish.
Well,
In France.
do I look French?
Well, you're born French, sir.
Do I sound French?
You're not French.
What do I say today? Not today.
No.
What do you tell Death?
Not today.
Not today.
Not today. I ain't dying yet.
So anyway, it's almost all ready, and I'm going to throw it all together so you can have the first bowl. How's that sound? That sound good?
We got pasta, sir.
Well, yeah, the noodles go in the... This is recording, just so you know.
Really?
Yeah, really?
You're a hippie?
You're a hippie.
How's your brother?
I haven't talked to him today.
What? You talk to him every Sunday.
I do, but I haven't talked to him today. Remember, he lives on the West Coast, so I could call him, and he'll probably be like, hey, I'm having lunch.
Dad, he's your brother.
I'm fully aware of
You
the fact
love
that
him dearly.
Your brother's gonna play an idiot.
Well,
yes.
you can't say that.
Well, you're
Okay, good to go here.
Your crazy brother decided to put his own hand and shot himself in the hand.
Well, that was an accident.
That was your bloody brother.
Okay. Okay, we got the noodles. Here, you want to sample one? Make sure they're okay.
Was it hot?
It's hot. Burning fingers, baby. Burning fingers.
And there's just talk like this one about he's gonna talk to your hands.
Yeah, so nobody else ever taught you that. Okay. Got our egg noodles in. Now we're going to drop our mushroom mixture in. Get it all deliciously swiped in there. Okay, no, I'm cooking right now. I'm not answering questions. I'm taking questions from the peanut gallery.
No, I was just
Okay, we're gonna
I was just asking you if you have a beer, please.
You have a beer. I am. Are you old enough?
Yeah?
Oh, okay.
20.
All right, now we'll pour our mixture in here. Let's get our spatula so we get all this goodness, because this is what makes this good. I mean, the other stuff is good, but The sauce is really what makes this delicious.
Ooh.
And then sometimes after the fact, I might throw in a little extra sour cream just to thicken it up. Okay, so we got that there.
That sounds
Sure, whatever. That's cool. Awesome. Okay, let's get this all mixed up here. Nice and luscious. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, for sake measure, to add a little to it, we're going to put in a little more sour cream.
Ooh.
Obviously you don't have to do this, but I prefer a little more sour cream. It'll help thicken it up, and the sour cream gives an amazing flavor. If you do it after the fact like this, you just have to make sure that you get all that mixed up, because again, similar to flour balls, you don't want a big chunk of sour cream. Okay, so it's really that simple to make the stroganoff. So let's go ahead and get this into a bowl so that you can see what it looks like. Oh, looking good, Mom. Looking good.
It's called beef stroganoff.
Sure. It's called beef stroganoff.
Well, in French, it means beef in French.
Okay.
It means stroganoff in French. Yeah, and I'm really excited for season 5.
Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to take, if you have fresh parsley, obviously that would be a little better. But just take a little parsley to sprinkle on for decor, and it also adds a little bit of flavor. So let me bring this down here and you can see this. So here's our dish that we made tonight. Mushroom stroganoff, and pretty much straightforward. Let me see if I can. Straightforward, get that. We've got our beef stroganoff, quite delicious.
It's a French term.
You guys have a great one. Peace. Oh, start to finish, 32 minutes. Talk to you later.